It was no surprise that Advent had made an attempt on Ana Ramirez. What was surprising was that they actually managed to find her. See, Ramirez was one of the finest guerrilla operators we had run into. So much so that we had convinced her to start training recruits of her own to spread the knowledge around. I'm not one to sing the praises of Advent, but even in a concealed position, I was impressed they tracked her down. Still, Ramirez is no easy mark. She managed to get a signal through to us right when Advent hit her camp. We knew Ramirez wouldn't back down from the fight, so if we had any intention of keeping her alive, we'd have to work fast. She had been training recruits in an old freight yard for a few months now, and I guess her little school had finally outgrown the shadows. I will reposition. I have sight beyond vision. The power guides me.
Stepping off.
Got it, moving.
Come get some.
I know where you are. In the old days, Ramirez was what you would have called a survivalist. I don't know her exact motivations, but she had taken to living off the grid well before the invasion even started. While things were falling apart for everyone else, isolation kept Ramirez out of the alien sights. I strike for my people! Our advantage is lost.
Got it. Moving.
Affirmative. Fast as I can. The thing about Ramirez was, despite all the time she spent on her own, she never turned into the kind of loner crackpot you'd normally find out there. For some of us, the isolation of surviving on the fringes was almost too much to handle. Not Ramirez. When we finally picked her up, she was as sharp as any XCOM recruit we had ever had.
Keep up, Rover. On your order. I'm busted.
There is nowhere to hide.
Hostile terminated. I'm on it.
On the move.
I'm on Overwatch.
When Advent started cracking down on livestock and homegrown crops, survival skills like foraging and gathering were all that some people had left to go on. For the others that couldn't just flip a switch and become self-reliant, the city centers were the only choice they had.
Heading out.
The VIP and are
I don't think Ramirez was expecting us, but she was definitely relieved.
They're moving around the side!
From my perspective, the only way Advent had any chance of finding Ramirez on her turf was if someone from the inside gave up her position. There were a lot of fresh faces among her recruits, and it could have been any one of them. We also had the faceless to consider.
might actually beat me. Moving to position.
I'm out of here.
My strike surges forth.
Come to think of it, I'm not sure we ever did get the story from Ramirez on what led to the raid on her stomping grounds. I want to say we decided that it wasn't an infiltrator, but the overzealous use of improvised explosives that eventually caught the aliens' attention.
Fast as I can. Copy that.
Location confirmed.
I'm covering.
Once Ramirez officially joined the Avengers crew, she stayed on in her capacity as a teacher when she wasn't out killing aliens. She actually helped design some of the training facilities we're using today. I leave the field for now. Ramirez made it clear of the AO. I'm not sure how many of Ramirez's recruits survived the attack, but she made it out alive along with most of our team. We gathered up what we could from the remains of Ramirez's training area, but it's not like the recruit she was working with had the best gear to begin with. Now this part of the story, this is something you won't hear about very often. The origins of Dr. Tigan's relationship with XCOM. He wasn't exactly captured, but when we got to him, he was at the end of his rope, desperate to get away from Advent. So desperate, in fact, that in a hastily performed vision self-mutilation, Tigan removed his own chip implant the hard way, through the back of the skull. Needless to say, that rendered him unconscious, and with only hours to spare before the aliens realized what he had done. Tigan made contact with one of our people close to Advent before pulling the plug on his chip. It was sheer luck that we were in a position to send a team after him. A few days earlier, and he might have found himself with an even bigger hole in the back of his head. Volk says I am to obey. I can cover it.
Will do.
Got it.
Time to motor. I'm on your watch. Holding.
You will never hide from me. The aliens had Tigan working out of a lab space down in the tunnels under one of the city centers. Aside from the fact that he was collaborating with the enemy, I can see why he would want to get out of his current situation. Aside from his equipment, the place was kind of a dungeon.
have my trust.
Confirmed.
Getting it done.
I'm all over it. Holding position.
Having lost all contact with Dr. Vahlen after the invasion, our growing resistance movement was in desperate need of anyone with medical expertise. Had our original chief scientist still been with us, I'm not sure we would have taken such a great risk rescuing a former collaborator. At least in those days. Don't tell him I said that.
I can do that. They patrol blindly ahead.
Moving out.
Double time. Maintaining position.
I will always fight.
I'm being flanked!
They are known to them.
I strike for my people!
Rolling.
Target eliminated.
Good to go.
Getting too old for this. Got some advent here. I know where you are.
In cover.
Tigan knew it wouldn't take Advent all that long to notice he was no longer tied into their network, but that didn't stop him from pulling the plug anyway. I don't want to make any presumptions about his mindset, but it was clear he had had enough of whatever he was doing down in that lab of his.
The armor held for now.
Got it covered.
On the move!
I'll be there soon. You can never escape my
Glad I
sight.
kept up the cardio. I'll keep an eye on it. Guess I need to hit the practice range.
You have to remember, when all this went down, all we knew about these Advent implants was that they were starting to pop up in most of the city centers. Tigan was likely among the first humans ever implanted with one, and he was definitely the first person to ever try pulling one out.
X-ray neutralized.
Advent forces sighted.
I have sight beyond vision.
Could use some practice. Stepping off.
Watch the flanks! They're moving!
Position compromised.
Fire here!
Is at
Get
risk.
that exit ready.
It took some time before Tigan gained the crew's trust. I think even today Shen still keeps her guard up around him despite all the work they've done together. At this point, I'd say give the guy a break. But maybe I'm just getting soft with old age.
Running low on ammo.
Heads down!
A righteous strike!
Heading out. Adjusting sights. Coming in bad! Hostiles got me flanked!
Taking losses, Commander!
You cannot run.
They're coming around the flank! Target neutralized.
Target neutralized. Got it.
Running!
I can cover it.
Eyes peeled. I'm all over it.
10-4.
Double time. I'm covering.
We had a limited window of opportunity to work with here. Advent was bound to notice Tigan's abrupt departure from their network quickly.
Covering ground.
I'm out of here.
On the move. Packing it in.
Fighting in the tunnels was no easy task, and took a toll on some of our people. We got Tigan out of there, though, and that was sure to slow down whatever Advent had him doing. I don't remember grabbing anything of value from Tigan's underground lair, much to his dismay. Shen was still reliably churning out the upgrades, though, so we were doing all right. Once he finally recovered from the operation, our new friend Dr. Tygan was grateful, to the extent that Tygan expresses that sort of thing anyway. He was also eager to prove his loyalty, to shake off whatever bad deeds he had done in the service of Advent. He told us about a powerful artifact, a remnant of the old XCOM base the aliens had
We're in
found sealed
concealment.
away deep in some stronghold for further study. He was vague about the whole thing, which didn't help alleviate any suspicions we might have had about his story. Still, it was worth a shot. Whatever we were after, the aliens buried it deep in a stronghold unlike anything we'd ever run into. The only way in was through an old ventilation shaft, dropping down through the ceiling. Even the aliens had to breathe sometime, I guess.
Onward.
Ten-4.
Got it.
Orders confirmed. Moving out. Eyes on the prize.
There is nowhere to hide.
Love to get my hands on that armor. They're on to us. It hit the plate. That one actually hurt.
Retelling the story now, it doesn't make much sense that we would have followed a half-baked lead into an unknown alien facility. But that's always chasing something. Besides, I don't know what it was, but I had a strange feeling going into this one.
I strike! All my evil invaders move against me. I only struck their armor.
Hostile terminated.
Moving out!
Got it covered.
It also dawned on me that if the aliens were any good at espionage, Tygan would have made for the perfect bait. We rescue him, he gives us the location of some weapon we can't pass up, and we send a team of our best people into an ambush. Still, it ended up being worth it.
Got it covered.
I've got eyes on an Advent position. No place for you to go now. Didn't go through!
My strike surges forward.
Hostile target down. Busted. I'm watching.
I'll get him next time.
I think just about everyone on the squad had a theory as to what it was we would find in there. If I had known Tigan then as well as I do now, I would have put my money on it being the recipe for Advent Burger's secret sauce.
On my way. Roger that.
Roger that.
Affirmative.
Fast as I can.
Always wondered what this was like.
As things dragged on, my patience for this scavenger hunt was getting thin, to the point where I almost had them haul Tigan out of bed to give us some clue as to what we were doing down here. He was certainly giving the Elders a run for the most indecipherable statements award.
Always find you.
On the move.
Tracking target.
I have sight beyond vision. A righteous strike!
We are compromised.
My training fails me.
Holding position.
Facilities like this were an important reminder of just how far Advent had come over the years. Building something like this was a huge undertaking, and there was no telling how many more of these places were out there. It was daunting to consider, but we tried to focus on the task at hand.
I have found our objective.
When we spotted that final chamber, I knew that had to be the place. They had really gone out of their way to build this reveal.
You will never hide from me.
Got it.
Locked on.
On your order.
Going way out.
Roger, holding.
My mind
Aside from Gatecrasher, this was one of the last tactical operations I took the lead on. But to be honest, it was probably for the best. I put my body through a lot over the years, and it was getting harder and harder to keep up with our new recruits. Plus, I knew it was time to try being a real leader.
No use running.
can never escape my sight.
I'm on it. Ah! I'm burning! X-ray neutralized.
It's on.
A good decision.
Heading out.
Heading out.
Damn, that stinks! Moving to position.
We cleared out the secret facility. Now we just had to find the mysterious object of power Tigan alluded to. The gear is secure. I was skeptical of what we found. I mean, why the hell would they have my sweater all tuned up like that?